Am I the a-hole for not letting my in-laws use my son's social security number to continue getting food from food banks? Plus updates. Original post. My husband, 30 male, and I, 31 female, recently received a phone call from my father-in-law, 54 male. Apparently, for some time, they have been going to food banks to get help since my mother-in-law, 53 female, won't work after being diagnosed with COPD. They have been telling the food banks that they are taking care of their grandson, my son. The food bank has allowed them to receive food, but just recently asked them for my son's social security number so that they can continue getting food from them. My in-laws have not been taking care of my son because we live over 500 miles away from them. We were shocked by them asking for our son's social security number because obviously the answer is no. My husband texted them back telling them no, it's not going to happen, and they have yet to even respond. Am I the a-hole for wanting to take this further and report them to the food bank for fraud and identity theft? Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Food banks don't normally ask for a social security number, at least in my area. That sounds like they want the number so they can access something else, like food stamps or a new credit card. This, first thing that popped into my brain. Freeze your son's credit. Do it now. Plus OP's husbands. It's possible they may already have his. They already live in a low-income household where everything is paid. We've tried talking to them about money management, but my mother-in-law always storms off and refuses to talk once we voice our opinions and offer other solutions and programs that could help them. Lock down your son's credit. A food bank is never going to ask for anyone's social security number. Their mission is to serve people in need. Your in-laws want the social security number so they can open credit accounts in his name. This also means their credit is terrible. If the food bank is asking them for further proof of qualifications, then the food bank is already suspicious of them. Never underestimate the ability of people to be really crappy to others, especially their own family. It's much easier to steal from family than strangers. Lock down your own and your spouse's credit too. They have your husband's social security number, and desperate people do desperate things. If they've already lied about caring for your son, who knows what else they'll do? Better to be safe than sorry. Reporting them might help prevent future issues for you and others. Absolutely not the a-hole. In fact, you'd be irresponsible if you didn't take further action. Your in-laws are committing fraud by falsely claiming they are caring for your son to receive food bank benefits. Asking for his social security number takes it a step further into potential identity theft. That is a huge red flag and a serious legal issue. If you gave them that number, they could open up an entirely new world of financial fraud in your son's name. It's one thing to need help, but it's another to lie and exploit a child's identity to get it. If they truly need food assistance, they should be honest about their situation and seek the appropriate support, rather than dragging your son's identity into their deception. I understand they may be struggling, but their desperation does not justify committing a crime, especially one that could impact your son's financial future. Reporting them to the food bank is the right thing to do. They are taking resources away from families who actually qualify and need them. Their lack of response after being told no speaks volumes. They know what they are doing is wrong. Stay firm, protect your son, and absolutely report it. Now for the first update. We have found a food bank, and they do not take social security numbers. So we have locked and checked everything to make sure our son's identity is safe, and ours as well. No social security number was given to them, because we know better than to jeopardize our identity and our son's identity. We are going to confront them about what we have found and see if they will give us the truth so we can determine where to go from here. Thank you all for your advice, even the negative feedback. It has helped us find a conclusion to this crazy mess. Final update. So we have yet to get a response about the situation, but I explained what happened to my best friend, and she agreed it was shady. We were thinking they were on drugs since this was such a shady situation. Some digging happened, and some information was exchanged, leaving names and how the exchange happened out. Turns out that mother-in-law was going to start work again, but then they got food stamps, so she stopped trying to get a job. but the food stamps got denied, so they were trying to get back on by trying to get approved once again. We put the dots together and found out they were going to try and use my son so they could get food stamps. It would be a different story if they were actually taking care of my son, which they are not. I am half tempted to bring this information to my in-laws and let them know that I know why they were trying to get my son's social security number and that they have been caught in a major lie and will probably never receive any more help from us. We did not report them because nothing happened. Other members of the family are okay and safe from this happening to them. We will probably never get a response back from them about this situation, but they will most likely be asking for help soon enough, which my husband and I agreed we are no longer providing in any way. Thank you all for your comments. This will be the last of this post. Next story. Update. My husband spent $10,000 on Pokemon slabs without telling me, forgot my birthday, and we are struggling financially. Am I overreacting for wanting a divorce? Original post. I just found out that my husband spent $10,000 on Pokemon slabs that he said were for Christmas and my birthday. I'm physically shaking. I had no idea he was spending that much. I assumed maybe $500 to $1,000 at most. When I checked our bank account and credit reports, I was shocked. 11 years together. I called him and he admitted to spending $10,000. The worst part is that these were not even cards I wanted or collections I am into. It was a nice thought, but I was not thrilled by them. To top it off, he completely forgot my birthday on the actual day. He did not say anything until halfway through the day, did not get me a card, flowers, coffee, or anything at all. Even when I suggested we celebrate over the weekend, he made no effort. Financially, we are struggling. Our mortgage is $10,000 this month because of property taxes and home insurance. Our house is on the market, but it is not selling because of the high price tag. It's already marked at the lowest we can go with no profit. We had just paid off all of his credit cards in December, bringing them down to 9% utilization so we could focus on paying off mine. My credit card debt is from necessary home repairs, like replacing an electrical panel to prevent a fire, and I had been putting groceries on there to protect our cash for mortgage payments, not random purchases. At this point, I blocked his number and told him I want a divorce. He has always had a problem with saving money, and I feel completely disrespected and steamrolled, especially given our financial situation. Am I overreacting? I just need advice or a gut check because I feel like I have reached my breaking point. I wouldn't call this an overreaction. That was an incredibly selfish, incredibly idiotic thing for him to do. You don't mention kids, so if you haven't had them yet, you can leave and be free of this kind of fiscal elementary school planning. No children. Sell the cards. Stop waffling. Sell all and any cards. Collectibles are for those who can afford it. You two are not ready. I don't disagree. We had collected the 2023 SSN as it was our childhood memories. I was definitely okay with it, and it was something we did together. This feels like a pure betrayal of trust. We talked about buying slabs together, as they are expensive, and we wanted to choose together. We had that conversation multiple times when we talked about collecting, adding further betrayal to the situation. Considering he waited until his debt was gone before thinking he could buy whatever, and conveniently ignored that you still had debt that the pair of you were going to tackle next, does he think of your debt as something that matters in his world at all? Because it doesn't sound like a partner. Did you ever pitch tackling both of your debts, such as paying down one of his cards and one of yours instead of several of his? Did he ever shoot that idea down? This is so spot on, it's scary. I don't think he considers it part of his world at all. I have felt single for a long while. We've actually done that before as well. Then something would come up, medical or something big with the home, and I would be the one to take care of it. Every piece of my debt is for the house or medical, with the exception of some travel for a family emergency. Edit. What is a Pokemon slab? A Pokemon slab refers to a plastic case, often called a slab in the collecting world, that encapsulates a graded Pokemon card, protecting it from damage while also displaying its condition and value. typically provided by a third-party card grading company like PSA, Beckett, or CGC. Essentially, it's a permanently sealed container that holds a professionally assessed Pokemon card, like an engagement ring appraisal. Now for the update. I am safe. I have contacted a lawyer. No matter what happens, I will continue protecting myself and making better decisions going forward. I also took screenshots and went through his phone completely. While we have no children together, we do have a decade and a lot of love for one another. He was surprisingly open to giving up control and acknowledged his addiction. He admitted he always knew it was something, but as each new hobby came along, they became more and more expensive. He was not angry when I confronted him, but he did break down in tears. We talked, and while I want to keep identifying details private, I can say that he is getting help, and I now have full financial control. He attended a meeting for Shoppers Anonymous, and we believe he has compulsive spending disorder. Thanks to this community, I realized how serious collector addiction can be. I would not have gone to a lawyer or even known where to start if it weren't for the advice I received here. Reddit is honest and they know what's up, which is why I came here for help. Addiction is a long, difficult journey, and I will hold myself accountable to ensure I don't ignore red flags. Where we stand now: 1. He has agreed to all my terms. 2. I have full financial control. 3. We will sell the cards. 4. He is working to sell other items from past hobbies. 5. We will have weekly financial meetings. 6. He will go to individual therapy and meetings. And lastly, we will go back to marriage counseling. After reviewing the finances, it was actually $7,000 spent on cards, not $10,000. The other $3,000 were smaller charges, like work lunches and Starbucks. That still adds up. We are working on selling the cards. Other important changes. He has promised to be a better husband and stop acting like a child. He recognizes his behavior. He has also acknowledged that his selfishness has affected other areas of our life, like in our support system, and he is working to change that. We both understand that this is a lifelong addiction that will require daily effort. We each have to make that choice individually as to how we want to proceed. I know it's easy to say just leave him, but marriage is not that simple. Sometimes one partner is at 10% while the other is at 90%. Right now, he is at 10%. 2 years ago, I was the one at 10% and he stuck by me. He gave me the chance to change, and I did. Now it is my turn to offer him the same opportunity. I will not give him a second chance beyond this, but I believe everyone deserves at least one. I'm not sure if I will post another update. Always a shame when someone comes to Reddit and they are set to make the right choice, then you get an update that they're going back on everything. Hey, good luck. It's your time to waste, I guess. I can understand your perspective. I've still contacted a lawyer. There's not much I can do for 90 days anyways where I am. I didn't see the original post, but appreciate the update. As you said, marriage is a partnership where you see each other through ups and downs, and not everything is a leave him situation. It's good he acknowledged his problem. Honestly, the saddest part of your update is that $3,000 of the amount spent was on dumb things like Starbucks. At least with the slabs, you can sell them and hopefully recoup a good portion of your losses. It's a lesson to all of us in how the little things really add up. Good luck, OP. I know that $3,000 actually hit him harder. Thanks for your kind words. Getting torn apart here. Can't make people understand my perspective though. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not moving back home for sister's baby on the way? I, 26 female, moved states for a travel SLP job to make great money and explore. Normal 20s stuff. My sister, 30 female, got married recently and is expecting her first baby. She and my parents want me to move back home and help with the baby. My sister says I don't care about her pregnancy, can't be mad when my niece won't know me, and that I'm weird for wanting to live that far away. I haven't even hit 2 years here, and I like it. I travel back home monthly anyway, so I won't be a stranger to my niece, but she'd argue, yell, scream, and stonewall me for days. She and her husband took over my lease and ended up never leaving. I also didn't want to uproot them after they made the house their home during the engagement, wedding, baby on the way, etc. We all agreed it made more sense for the newlyweds to get our old childhood home anyway, as opposed to me living there alone. Our parents always reiterate that the house is still both of ours, that the door is open to both their daughters. All my furniture is still there though: TVs, sofas, tables, beds, dressers, etc. With travel work, you just bring yourself, necessities, and clothes. The company provides furnished housing. My sister's been picking fights with me weekly over little things: not answering or returning her call when I'm busy, not being available every time she wants to talk or vent for hours, not wanting to leave Texas. As a person learning to set boundaries, my family doesn't accept it well when I finally enforce one. Now she's saying I've been disrupting her peace her whole pregnancy and she'll never forget it. But she is the one picking all these fights. She ended the last phone call with, "By the way, please come get all your stuff out of the junk room and put it in storage or something. It'll be the baby room." I said I'll just get all my things, and I do mean everything, since I just got my own place in Texas. I flew in Monday night, began the move Tuesday morning. I furnished the whole house while I stayed there, so all the furniture, appliances, decor are mine, no question. She called from work demanding I wait until Saturday when she's off, because I don't feel comfortable with you moving things around at the house while I'm not there. You could take something that's not yours, and there aren't any cameras. I felt like, wow. I trusted them to live on top of my stuff, use my dishes and appliances, sleep on my beds, replace my things with theirs in dressers and closets, and move my stuff wherever they wanted for 2 years. I was offended to not be able to get my things from Tuesday to Saturday, knowing I leave Sunday, is asinine. Her husband even told me she throws away my things all the time. They argued once because he told her that's wrong. I told her I know not to touch any of her things, and I know what belongs to me and what doesn't. She started screaming at me, "Why can't you ever just say okay when I tell you something?" Even my parents said she was being unreasonable. She didn't talk to me the rest of my spring break. I left our house and spent the week at my parents'. She posted about cutting off family who disturb your peace on social media. Not the a-hole. Having a baby is entirely her decision. You do not owe your sister, or the unborn child for that matter, anything. Congratulations on your decision to move states away. That sounds like a really good decision for your well-being. It's entirely possible to have a loving long-distance relationship with your niece or nephew. It's about the intention and effort you put into the relationship, so don't let her manipulate you into feeling guilty for living your life. I'm not joking when I say this move has felt like one of the best decisions I could have made for myself. And once I got past the guilt in my mind from hearing their voices of disapproval, I feel so free. Please stop interacting with this person. She has a pathological jealousy of you, OP. Even her husband can see how irrational she's being. Go no or low contact. But be aware, when she needs help, she may suddenly be nice to get her way. Be free and enjoy your youth. She is jealous that she is tied down and you are not. Correct. She's always perfectly nice when things are good. She'll want to talk and laugh on the phone with me her entire work shift. But the second I disagree with something she thinks I should do when it comes to my life, all hell breaks loose. She's like a different person and hates me. And she successfully makes my parents believe I'm the difficult child. Can't nobody ever tell her anything? No, I just can't stand when someone tries to write my own narrative. My whole life was controlled, and that caused a lot of resentment when I got older.